Alexa, drop into the living room.
Okay, drop in here.
What are you guys doing out there? What are you guys doing out in the living room? Who's jumping? Oh, whatever. All right, Alexa.
The chill. I just asked the question. You have the chill.
Yeah, but you have to go.
That's what you want.
What about I can't get no satisfaction? Brilliant.
All of it.
Brilliant.
Now, Kyle, I'm reading up on your school. According to Forbes magazine, Millikan University is number 620 on the list of top colleges. 600
colleges are there?
There's only 600 colleges. I don't even understand how.
Well, again, there's a lot of
rocks off the leg right on the street. Tell the kids is the third. You've got the Stones and you've got the Beatles. That was easy. Now you got a hard time. You go to Jimi Hendrix experience.
Vlad, you better be watching her. Alexa, make an announcement.
What's the announcement?
You better be watching her, boy.
Announcing.
You better be watching her, boy.
Oh. Anyway, look. Now you got to go to the third band.
I am Randy.
I'm trying to think of what else. Anything from Exile on Main Street. I don't care. Pick any song off there. That's what I'm talking about. It's crazy. Cuddling back. Play the whole album. I'm gonna
You told me to listen to this
do
after the White Album 52.
Anyway, okay, so you got the Stones and you got the Beatles, and you got to look at the body of work. You got to look at the millions of songs they wrote that were awesome that people know by heart.
And then the influence they had.
And now we get to number 3. And that's a tough one because there's so many great bands and so much in the history of music, It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, out of this tree comes what?
But I'm going to say Led Zeppelin is the number 3 greatest band of all time. Again, because of when they came about, the body of music. Like I said, if you listen to Led Zeppelin, the second album, any song on there is mind-blowing. There are songs on there that never became hits because there were too many hits on that. Like you go through the whole album. Look these riffs that Jimmy Page came up with, John Bonzo Bonham on drums, and Robert Plant's vocals were insane.
And you have to think of what happened to music after this.
That's right.
Music changed.
If I jump around, like, give me, I think go with another song. If I say to you tomorrow, and by the way, there'd be no AC/DC without Led Zeppelin. Again, you gotta look at the entire history of music. Now, this is exciting, Kyle, because the dean of your college, the dean of Millikan College wants to, she's somewhat disappointed in you and your choices. Yes, Dean, how are you?
Yeah?
Yes. Dean, I see your college is ranked number 620 in the United States.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And there's Kyle. What do you think of him? What kind of graduate is he? Exactly.
Alexa, read notification.
One new notification from Amazon Shopping. For Randall, a shipment will arrive today, including electric hot knife cutter tool.
Of course, Dean. And Dean, thank you. The Dean of Millikan College. Any last words? Oh, there she is. That's the Dean.
Wow. No wonder I've never heard of that school.
Yeah. Dean sounds like maybe some COVID kicking in. So, Kyle, let's continue with the Led Zeppelin education from the young. You know how many women rejected me to this music? This is the soundtrack of my life.
Hey Alexa, what's Monday's weather look like?
Right now in Pecana, it's 73 degrees Fahrenheit with thunderstorms. Throughout the day, you can expect more of the same, with a high of 77 degrees and a low of 63 degrees.
This song comes on. Anything from this album, my balls immediately turn blue because I never got laid to any of this music. I was left with blue balls to every track.
I've been in the ball.
I mean, I could sit here and
What did you think Howard was going to say? Did he surprise you?
Kyle?
No, you hit it right on the head. Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, and the Rolling Stones. I knew exactly where we were going.
Larry in New York thinks he knows
Alexa,
more.
play the BBC on Sirius XM.
BBC World Service from Randall Sirius XM.
At what point did your parents stop influencing your choices, if they ever did? And did you and just your agent or manager take over?
Well, at first, I think you just kind of take whatever you get.
Right.
Really.
I still do.
Yeah. Work's good. It's a good ethic to have as well. But no, I mean, it wasn't until about 16 when you're at school and teachers encourage you to think about, what career you want, what things you need to study, places you need to go, universities you need to get in, all that kind of stuff. And I hadn't really thought about any of that at all. And then I realised I was already doing something that I loved and was supposedly somewhat good at and being paid to do it. And I was already kind of set here. But it changed how I thought about it and how I approached it. And I just started kind of taking it a little bit more seriously as opposed to something just to do for fun, which is funny actually, but later on you then have to kind of revert and remember to have fun again. And sometimes when I get a bit stuck in the scene, I'll think back to when I was 10 or 12, and I just didn't care so much, or think so much, or over-analyse things so much.
That's a good motto for life, though, isn't it? Going back to that 10-year-old child in you. Ian, what sort of connection do you have to where your parents are from? So you have some Punjabi roots.
I do, yeah. My dad is Punjabi, but he was born in Kenya, raised in Tanzania, and has lived in the UK since he was 14. So his connections aren't perhaps as strong. Although all of his family, he's got this huge extended Punjabi family. And then I'm just one step removed from that. I don't speak Punjabi. I don't necessarily relate so much to Punjabi culture as I do to British culture. So that's quite difficult for me sometimes. My mum her father was Jewish, but he was very lax. He wasn't really interested in Jewish religion or even culture particularly. So we have these little elements that trickle down to me, and it makes up something, but I can never really put my finger on what that something is.
But two cultures who love big family occasions and like to feed
A
people.
lot of food, a lot of brilliant food.
Just brought that down to the lowest common denominator, don't even know.
One of the best, yeah.
Thomas, what about you? Where are your parents from?
My dad is from a town called Bankery, it's just outside of Aberdeen,
In Scotland.
and my mum's from down in Sussex. I'm just as Scottish as I am English, and I need to kind of go and reconnect with that. I think I've always thought I've ride motorbikes, and my plan is to ride up one side of England and spend about 2 months up in Scotland, just riding around the Highlands and ride back down the other side.
What sort of bike do you
And anything that hangs around long enough doesn't get stolen in London.
So have you read Zen and the Art of Motorcycling?
No, but I have it, and I've started it. But
It was a really profound book for me when I was a certain age. And then I gave it to my brother, and his whole life has been motorbikes since then. There's something liberating. Would you ever do one of those TV series, Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman, travelling around the world on bikes?
oh yeah, I'd love to. I
Well,
like anything to do with
there's
bikes.
loads of people listening to the show who
It's
commission
a long way somewhere else. I don't know.
A long way up to Scotland.
Yeah.
That's it for Not One of the Show, but don't go away. We have the Irish actress Jessie Buckley, the voice actor Nolan North, and my conversation with Thomas Brady Sangster coming up. The sound after this.
This is the BBC World Service, where in Worldwise World, teenagers talk to the pioneers of our digital world.
We believed someday everybody would have a cell phone.
This series brings you the chance to hear from some truly amazing innovators who are responsible for technology that has changed our world.
I realized I wanted to be the mommy that could tell her kids that my robots make the world a better place.
Each episode, teenagers loving the technology, like me, speak to an inventor or designer.
It's really nice to be able to talk to the man who cut the cord off the telephone.
Finding out how they came up with their ideas and asking for advice.
Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something. Push, push, push for it.
You'll also hear journalists, experts, and the public talking at the time the technology was launched.
Here we are, computer booted up, whatever that means. Now let's look up something on the internet.
Worldwide Web at bbcworldservice.com.
Still to come on the Arts Hour with me, Nikki Beattie, Irish actress Jessie Buckley on understanding her new film I'm Thinking of Ending Things, and American voice actor Nolan North tells us what it's like to play Iron Man in a video game.
It looks like you're doing a stage play in silly little spandex outfit. You're like black box theater in spandex suits by a bunch of adults acting like children. It's just so much fun.
All that plus Angelique Kidjo coming up on the Arts Hour.
BBC News with Eileen McKean. President Trump is due to name his nominee for the US Supreme Court in the coming hours. He's widely expected to announce the Conservative judge, Amy Coney Barrett, as his choice for the lifetime job. She would replace the Liberal Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who died just over a week ago. The authorities in Mexico have issued arrest warrants for members of the armed forces on the 6th anniversary of the disappearance of 43 trainee teachers who had travelled to the state of Guerrero to take part in a demonstration when they went missing. The incident led to weeks of protests. Spain's left-wing government has told the Conservative-led regional administration in Madrid to take tougher action to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. The health minister, Salvador Illa, said it was time to take control to tackle a serious health crisis. Police in London had clashed with anti-lockdown protesters. About 15,000 people crammed into Trafalgar Square. When police moved in to disperse them, some threw water and goaded officers. Hundreds of demonstrators
Oh, jeez. The other day in the news they were saying that they haven't had one single riot. Fakers.
Opposition in Parliament has so far blocked Mr. Netanyahu's efforts to put strict limits on the right to protest during the pandemic. A Pakistani teenager accused of attacking 2 people with a meat cleaver in Paris on Friday has told investigators he thought he was attacking staff from Charlie Hebdo. Sources close to the investigation say the suspect was angered by the magazine's decision to republish cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad. And one of Egypt's highest courts has issued a final ruling confirming the ban on an annual festival held to celebrate a 19th century rabbi. The event near Alexandria honored the Moroccan-born rabbi.
Alexa, drop into the living room.
Okay, driving in.
What the hell are you guys doing? Then why is she running around and screaming, man?
Because I'm tickling her.
A what?
Tickling her?
Stop. The baby is sleeping. Your brother is sleeping. So obviously that means you have to use your noggin, dude, and not do that. I'm just out here chilling out. Just chill. Watch cartoons and chill out. Understood? Or else you'll be in your room all freaking night for the shit that you did this morning. Crystal clear, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Behave. Alexa, end call.
Welcome back to the Arts Hour on the BBC World Service with me, Nikki Gady. And if you've only just joined us, here's a rapid recap of what you missed in the first half of the show. Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter talked about continuing their excellent adventures as Bill and Ted. Canadian comedian Catherine Ryan told us about moving from stand-up to sitcom for her new show, The Duchess. And the director, Hong Kong, talked about his mother's complex feelings about his films. Coming up in this part of the show, in just a moment, Irish actress Jessie Buckley tells us about the curious world of director and writer Charlie Kaufman. Voiceover actor Nolan North describes what it's like playing Iron Man in the new Avengers game. We'll hear an ode to the Sahara from the mighty singer and activist Angelique Kidjo, and I'll be talking to one of my two Arts Hour guests, who are here with me at an appropriate social distance in the studio, the British actor Thomas Brodie Sangster. He's starring in the excellent new Netflix drama The Queen's Gambit, and film critic Leanna Dillon is still with us. To the Irish actress Jessie Buckley now, who's had two breakout roles in the past 2 years. She played a Scottish ex-con who dreams of becoming a Nashville star in the movie Wild Rose, and in the HBO series Chernobyl, she was superb as Ludmilla, the pregnant wife of a firefighter. She's currently filming for the new season of the anthology series Fargo, I Cannot Wait, and can be seen now starring in the movie I'm Thinking of Ending Things, directed by Charlie Kaufman. The screenplay was adapted from a 2016 novel by Ian Reid, and like all Kaufman films, it would be easier for you to see it than for me to explain or describe it. In the most basic terms, though, the film is about a young man, played by Jesse Plemons, who takes his girlfriend, Jessie Buckley, home to meet his parents, played by Toni Collette and David Thewlis. Over the course of a single snowbound evening, the film and its characters dip between time and place, emotional headspace, and physical being. A knowledge of the musical Oklahoma may or may not be necessary. Jessie Buckley explained to Simon Mayo how she got the part.
I had just landed home to Ireland for Christmas, and the last thing you expect is to get a Charlie Kaufman script, and it was one of those cases where it kind of explodes after 12 hours or something if you don't read it on time. So I sat myself into a coffee shop and read it, and then I put myself on tape within 12 hours, and then you just send it off into the ether, and what will be. But I was so blown away by it, and I just felt like I didn't understand it, most of it, to be honest. But I didn't need to. I felt an awful lot. I felt so exhilarated by the things I didn't actually understand, because I felt I was being asked questions which took me, to excavate.
So you read it, you didn't understand a lot of it, but so what was it that made you think, I am desperate to be in this? Because if you're filming yourself and sending it off within 12 hours, that's enthusiasm, and yet you didn't quite understand. So what was it that was hooking you in?
Lots of things, I guess. It's okay we don't understand loads of things, and I was happy to be uncertain, knowing that I was feeling an awful lot while I was reading it. And I like to leave space anyway when I work, so that whatever comes out in those moments comes out. And Charlie's such a unique voice, and he creates such an interesting, and you're entering into both a dream world but also a real world, because they're very real questions that we all have as people. And
And to work with him and Jesse, I was such a huge fan of, and David Pulis and Tony, and
Yes.
it was a no-brainer, to be honest.
So the Jesse is Jesse Plemons, who's your boyfriend, who you go on the road trip with. And then can I ask you about David Pulis and Tony Collette, who are the kind of in-laws that you're meeting? First of all, what a nightmare meal this is that you're being introduced to. It was so cringingly awkward, and every sort of bone in your body is saying, get out. I know it's snowing, but you cannot stay here. They were great, weren't they?
Oh, they were amazing. I mean, like, Jesse and I had spent the first week inside the car doing crazy long 25-minute takes. So when we got into the farmhouse and met what characters David and Tony were doing, it was just like being kind of blasted by an apocalyptic snowstorm. And they're such amazing creators, like watching David, he's like a sculptor. I don't even know what he does with his body, or it's so subtle, but yet you feel like you've met that person somewhere. And I remember doing that scene with him up in Jake's bedroom, and it was so easy, but whatever he was doing was just I still don't know what he did, but it just felt so. And Tony the same, she's such a kind of formidable, like bold character and a heightened kind of presence in the whole thing, and all these textures colliding. It was just so exciting. You genuinely don't know what's going to happen. And for that dinner scene, every take seemed to take its own turn of events. Like we never really knew what was going to happen next.
Jessie Buckley talking about her latest film, I'm Thinking of Ending Things. My guests today are film critic Rhianna Dillon and actor Thomas Brady Sangster. Rhianna, you've seen the film. What are your thoughts?
I really enjoyed this film. It is absolutely weird and bizarre. And
Alexa, turn on Dr. Radio Sirius XM.
Dr. Radio from Randall Sirius XM.
To try a therapy that has previously worked for you.
And I always think that, when you think about therapy, a lot of times patients, get physical therapy, they do better, and then they think that sometimes the condition is cured. But I think, mentally you have to prepare those. Sometimes these nagging conditions that you're predisposed to developing with hip arthritis or hip bursitis is that, you condition your muscles, you stretch them out, and then if you just go back to your normal daily routines, this thing is going to pop back up. So maybe with not as much frequency, but if physical therapy did work, then you have to maintain these stretching things, include them in your normal daily workout routines or weekly workout routines, so therefore this doesn't come back.
Don, thanks so much for your call. Let's go to North Carolina. Julio in North Carolina. Hi, Julio.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Morning.
Basically, my question has to do with preventative care. I had a full patellar tendon rupture back in 2017, and went through about a year of physical therapy, and healed from that. But I work pretty hard. I work 6 days a week, and the job I have is pretty physically demanding. I'm outside. I'm moving, heavy tires, working on trailers and things like that. Just wanted to see if you guys could give me some insight on, now that I'm 33, I know I'm still young, but I've got a lot of years ahead of me to work, and I just need to be able to keep my body, at the best operational, status as far as, my hips and my joints and things like that, particularly my right knee, of course, going forward. So just wondering if there's any kind of supplements that I can be taking or other things I can do to, enhance the length of these working limbs and everything like that.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Okay. I was just going to start by saying, I think all three of us would agree that 33 is very young.
When I called in, she was like, "You're a baby." This baby works hard.
And I think, as you are noting, prevention is the best medicine. So I'll say, I guess I'll make 2 points. One is, I think core is key. Even though it's your knee, you're concerned about, the muscles around the core, that's your abdomen, and then the peripelvic muscles around your pelvis. Some of the ones we were just talking about, the glutes, for example, the external shoulders and the hips, those are the strongest muscles in the body. Those are the ones that, if they're strong, they're going to protect your back. They're going to drive everything downstream to help you protect your knee as well. And so, to me, if you can dedicate 10 to 15 minutes a day to maintaining a strong core, that's going to go a long way towards injury prevention. And the second thing I'll add is also maintaining a healthy weight. And so, because that's also, and that goes along with being physically active and a strong core. But, I think if I were to choose, rather than taking supplements, I think those are the two active things that I would do. And that's, and I'm a moderation person. That means that I do think every day needs to have a little bit of chocolate in it. But I think, I think, trying to set up good, healthy habits that can be done daily in a longitudinal way is probably the best way to maintain your joint health. But let me hear what other people have to say.
People ask about supplements. It's a common question, what about the glucosamine, what about cortisone sulfate? There's no hard evidence that any of these things are actually going to prevent any arthritic changes or prevent degenerative changes that happen in your knee or other parts of your body. Enough people take it. My schools, enough people take it that, there's safe medications. But when we look at studies, when we look at double-blind randomized controlled trials that are not sponsored, there's no really thing, to best my knowledge, that shows that they have any things that prevent arthritic changes.
Yeah, I would also add the same, like Coco. It's kind of, when you have a job like you do with Julio, I think a good way to think about it is like that's a sport and activity for you, and just like any other sport, you've got to stay in shape. You've got to maintain outside conditioning, and that's what's going to make a difference for you long term, and also prevent injury. And such a great point about proper weight, because I think people, as we all age, we start to put on some pounds, and especially when you're on your feet and laboring, it's certainly an increased risk for arthritis in the lower extremities, the hip, knees, and even ankles. So proper weight and proper conditioning. Julio, thanks for your call. Go ahead, Coco. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I could talk forever. I was actually going to make one other point, is that, everybody, it's easy to say, like, I want to take a pill and, like, make sure that I can, maintain health. But I think that's something that there is increasing evidence for that we don't talk about as much about is the importance actually of sleep for musculoskeletal health. We know that, like, in our college athletes, that, that the more sleep you get, the more you're able to actually, like, repair damaged tissue. And so I think, some of these, like, simpler interventions, like sleep and variety and core strengthening, they go further in terms of keeping your joints healthy.
Julio, does that help?
Information, yes, very much, and I do all those things, and it motivates me to lose that extra little 15 pounds that could go, so I really appreciate your guys' that's kind of what I've always thought, is I didn't really believe in a pill or a vitamin can really cure you. You got to do it yourself, you know what I mean? But thank you guys, and I hope you have a great day.
You too. Thanks for your call, Julio. All right, a special edition of the Orthopedic Show. We're taking all your orthopedic questions, 877-698-3627. Your co-hosts for this special edition, Dr. Cordelia Coco Carter, Dr. Mabel Shaw, and I'm Dr. Dennis Cardone. Again, our phone number, 877-698-3627. Here's an email from Connie in Florida. And Connie writes, what are your thoughts on stand-up paddleboarding? And Connie writes, I had an ACL tear 25 years ago. She's fully recovered. She's 55 years old now, and she enjoys stand-up paddleboarding. Is there any risk that I will hurt my ACL again?
Well, you said 10 years after her ACL injury, and she's 55. I mean, I would think that just in general, the risk of re-injury at this point is probably pretty low, right? She's gotten past the last 10 years. And, really when we look at the risk of ACL re-rupture, it's typically in the first 2 to 3 years, right? So number one, I think that, hopefully that's behind you. But two, when we look at stand-up paddleboarding, stand-up paddleboarding is a lot of fun. Me, myself, a little top-heavy, not the best exercise. I don't end up in the water more than I should. But I would say it's relatively a low-risk injury for ACL, low-risk activity for ACL injury.
I agree. I love stand-up paddleboarding. And I think if you're able to do that, because I think that's just one of the hardest sports and activities to access, right? It does require specialized equipment. You have to be near water, and the water conditions have to be pretty good. So if you're able to do that, I think that's a fantastic core and upper body workout, and it's sort of a sneaky lower body workout. Because I think, if you're standing, if you're standing properly, I think on the board and you're really bracing your core, I think it's a fantastic workout. And I think that while the risk of ACL re-injury is never zero, I agree with Dr. Shaw. The risk of ACL injury during paddleboarding is pretty darn high.
All right, well, that certainly helps Connie. I've tried it a few times, and I think I'm clearly not relaxed enough because, just like you were saying, Cordelia, my lower extremity is fatigued. I think I'm just so tight, trying to keep balance. Probably just a true beginner's problem.
I was gonna say, I think you gotta be one with the board, man. Right?
You gotta have good music playing. Okay, Orthopedic Show, 877-698-3627. All your orthopedic questions, things that you're seeing in the office, any different things, or in your OR schedule that's different now in this COVID time.
In the adult population that we're seeing, we're definitely seeing a lack of, from the lack of, contact, team sports. We aren't seeing the real, traumatic knee injuries that we normally see. ACL injuries being one of them are decreasing frequency, shoulder dislocations, shoulder separations. Those kind of things we're definitely not seeing as much. When COVID hit, we did have a backlog, so our OR was filled with, all the ACL injuries that we put off for several months and so on and so forth. And now as we're seeing those sort of dissipate, the new injuries, at least in my practice, I'm not seeing that often. We are seeing certain things don't change, right? Like, the degenerative kind of things that we normally do see, like the rotator cuff tears that are atraumatic, the degenerative changes about the knee, degenerative meniscus tears, arthritis. Those things don't go away, so those things are becoming more and more frequent.
Yeah, okay.
I was just going to say, one of the things I did, it's so hard. It's a snapshot in time. So my sense, I don't know, how reflective of reality is that I'm seeing more patellar dislocations, and so more patellar instability or more patellofemoral pain. And and as Dennis and I have talked about, I think, Dennis, you would agree with us that part of, initially being in quarantine and just not resuming our regular activities, we've all become a little bit deconditioned. And this is adults. I've seen this in both adults and children. And so, and again, it's speaking to the importance of the core and the external rotators of the hips for driving everything downstream. If those parts
Alexa, drop into the living room.
Okay, dropping in.
Then they don't.
Vlad, is the baby up? Said, can you go check on your brother, see if he's still sleeping? What, Anna? Okay. All right. Alexa, and call.
Actually support the patella or the kneecap, and when they're supposed to, that can lead sometimes to anterior knee pain or to a higher risk of patellar instability in somebody who's prone to it. So I think that's one of the more sporty injuries that I've seen an increasing percentage of, whereas just as you said, I think some of the true sports related stuff we've been seeing a little bit less of.
You know, I definitely saw, you definitely seen people. One of the nice things during quarantine is you did see some people, try to take better care of themselves.
What, Dimitri? They're great. You're up. Go.
With their job
Go.
previously, and now they have, ample amount of
We'll clean the
time.
bedroom up and then you can.
And
Now.
you did see, these overuse injuries, ocotoprint being one of them,
You know what? No, absolutely. The board is lighting up. Let's take some phone calls. Let's go to Georgia. Lisa in Georgia. Hi, Lisa. You're on the air.
I walk about 5 miles a day, 5 to 5.5 miles a day, and during quarantine, to kind of level up on that, I started wearing a backpack that I put in a few small hand weights. Anyway, the total backpack probably weighs between 15 and 17 pounds, just to add some extra, stress to the walk. What are your thoughts on that? I haven't felt anything that is twinged or hurt. And I've been doing it for about 4 months now. It does slow my pace, but I do feel like I'm probably burning more calories. I'm wondering if that's helpful to my
Stay inside and leave me alone, you guys. What? Tell him I said go do his job and stop bitching. What, Anna? What, baby?
He says the bedroom's already clean. Stop.
I don't care. I want you. You're watching the kids. Tell them to go clean. Tell them to go pick up. What, Anna?
Daddy.
Yes, baby.
I could.
Yeah, I'll be right in a minute. Okay. No. Yeah. Right. All right. Alexa, on call.
To have that extra weight other than just walking.
Alexa, play Howard 101.
Howard 101 from Randall Senior's XM.
And fan favorite, 949 60 Stern. 949 60 Stern. Howard 101.
It's totally normal to be constipated with belly pain, straining, and bloating again and again. No way. Maybe it's occasional constipation. Maybe it's not.
You could have a chronic condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives to help relieve belly pain and let you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. Individual results may vary. Do not give to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Maybe it's not occasional constipation. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. You may be able to talk to a doctor online. Visit linzess.com, sponsored by Allergan and Ironwood.
Guys, are you ready to create your own barber grade experience at home? Choose from Cremo's line of barber grade grooming products, which are designed to give you the same feeling as a trip to the barber shop. Like our impossibly slick shave cream that fights razor burn, Cremo beard and scruff cream, which helps reduce itch, and our collection of hair care products, including our new no mix, no mess hair and beard color. Discover your ultimate barber grade experience at home today. Look for Cremo barber grade products at major retailers and on Amazon.
Howard 101 presents.
Today is Fan Appreciation Day.
Another fan favorite.
You're fantastic.
Hey, this is Rick from Long Island. I'd like to hear you guys play the day you guys referred to the weekend that Rodney Dangerfield passed away. Fred did a great parody of Dear Prudence. It's called Dear Rodney. Definitely worth playing again. Thanks.
Hey, in all the hoopla and all the excitement of the move to satellite, I do not want to forget about the great Rodney Dangerfield.
Yes.
They
I almost did. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't want to forget about Rodney. Rodney, to me, was a pioneer as well.
Oh, yes, he was. And like I said, he reached back. He realized, because he was a guy who didn't get a break until later in life. And I think that always stayed with him. And so he looked out there and tried to help young comedians that he believed in all of his life, all of his career.
So let's take a minute to reflect on the life of Rodney Dangerfield. Do you think there's an afterlife? I don't think so. You don't? We're gorillas. Does a gorilla come back? If I don't make it, I tell every doctor this. If I don't make it, I'll never know. That's it. But I'm born out in style. No suffering, no pain, nothing but dead. Dear Rodney. You really paved the way. It was a 2-drink minimum. You were the man, you did it all. Got no respect, and you have lost fear around me. We're so sad you've gone away. I'll tell you what, girls, I'm never lucky, you kidding, but until I was 16, I had sex once and VD twice. Dear Rodney, you had those meatball eyes. Somebody's jumping on Dear Rodney, we laugh until we cry. Tell you, know the greatest trust in the world? Two cannibals having oral sex. Some people thought that you were crass. They all can kiss. Your comedy as Dear Rodney. Can't believe you've gone away. My mother never hugged me, kissed me, nothing, okay? Other kids would escape, listen to a fairy tale. I was asleep with a fight downstairs, listening to the guy yelling, enough, I had enough. What a childhood I had. My mother never breastfed me. She told me she liked me as a friend. My mother had morning sickness after I was born. My old man knew that my looks either. He carried around a picture that should have came with the wallet.
What do you guys want? No, you're gonna stay inside and leave me alone. I'll be in a couple minutes, dude. Trying to get the squid thing going.
Nothing works out. I go fishing, I catch nothing. I go to orgies, I catch everything. With your own crude style. Until it drives me nuts when he put crazy glue in my preparation H. Is now a sad place. We wish once more we'd see your face. Dear Rodney, it's so sad to say goodbye. I didn't have it easy. A lifetime of pain, but plenty of sex and drugs. Enough for you and your bride. Farewell, Rodney Dangerfield. Great friend of the show, great supporter of mine.
More open records.
Very, very nice to me. I was always a huge fan, even before he made those calls to me about the Tonight Show.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody loved Rodney. I mean, he was one of the greatest at stand-up and one of the greatest at
More
talk show.
open
for
records.
my generation, it's like Bob Hope died.
Yeah.
I mean, there should be a
Alexa,
bigger
turn
deal.
down the 2.5.
Yeah.
I got a
Alexa, turn it down to 2. Hey Alexa, what's today's date?
Today's Saturday, September 26th.
It's 26th record time apparently. If this is mailed out on the 24th. So let's see. So once again, Kukana is playing more open records request games. So let's see. Your open records requests, September 14th, 2020, indicates you are seeking an incident report, but no parties or date of the incident has been provided. Accordingly, we cannot provide a report based upon the information you're requesting. Additionally, specifics of all policies and procedures and other handbooks in PDF format. This request is vague and undoubtedly broad. We are required to clarify the scope of this request to identify what records you are seeking, so we are able to identify the records that would be open to the public inspection. With regard to many law enforcement policies and procedures, we believe public policy interests favoring non-disclosure are of greater weight under the circumstances than the legislative policy recognizing the public interest in disclosure of such material. In particular, public knowledge of details of these policies could lead to an increase in risk to the public safety, an increase into risk peace officers, and interest in dangerous and reckless behaviors from a person attempting to evade law enforcement personnel. As a result, the records request will not be provided at this time. Please be advised that this determination may be subjected to a review in actions or a mandamus pursuit, Wisconsin State Statute 19.354B. Sincerely, Inga Murphy, Administration Supervisor. I mean, like, come on, people. I mean, how much more do I have to be? Like, you guys are just playing open records request freaking games again. Like, you guys don't care. Like, you guys don't care about anything. Like, you're just pissed off because I'm asking and you don't want to do it like freaking normal. You know what? Those policies are for the people too. Like, we have all right to know what they are, and I will be getting a copy of them. It's ridiculous. Happy Fuck the Cops Day. Alexa, turn up the floor.
Is it fair to say that nothing that goes into extra games? There's something going on here. No, but I know you really have the awareness to experience the lesson and progress of the new times. You thought that you were saying that this was you, not the story. It was a wonderful That's the right order for
to sit there and say, well, you do a great people. You know, you're the head maker yourself. And I just said, you must be doing a brilliant job. Maybe I was mad at him. I picked on him and said, and I said, supposed to do. I said, keep going. And I understand. His story needs to have a training in reality research. And pull out the best of school and let him know. And Gary said, okay. And I'll be the first to listen. There are people that come in here and contribute, and the people that used to work, you got trust someone who knows how to pitch his ideas to Gary. And Gary says, well, I just want to do a great job, and it's simple. But then Gary's people, they start cleaning the ingredients and say, now we don't know what we want. And Gary's people, they start cleaning everyone stuff in the car is coming from the Gary, can you bring up the times that I connect to you after I get out of the studio and tell you thank you and tell you? Right, so you don't want to know something. Yeah, but that's also my love show to you because of what was in the past. No thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm not that naive guy. Listen, listen. But seriously, I have time to go with Gary talking at his time. Okay, you're his time too. Listen, hold on, man. It's my job. You don't have to be the same. Right. But that's what I'm teaching you. And what I'm really teaching you is because you're fucking knowing rather than Gary is trying to keep him out of the studio somehow for something. Yeah. This is the training for me. I mean, I never told our product director or whatever. I just let them come in and, huh? What did I do? I used to stand here and plug something out in the air. Yeah, come on. Talking about erectile dysfunction is easy. Usually we just brush it off and blame ourselves, saying things like, I lost my mojo, or we avoid it altogether with excuses like, I had a long day. Sorry, you're just not feeling it. But with one, it is easy to take control. With a real doctor who can prescribe real medication. It's simple, safe, and totally discreet. With one, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for you, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. The doctor will work with you to find the best treatment plan, and if medication is appropriate, Roman will ship it to you with free 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward and discreet. Getting started is simple. Just go to GetRoman.com/101 and complete an online visit. Erectile dysfunction used to be tough to tackle, but now there's one. Go to GetRoman.com/101 today. With a group, you'll get $15 off your first order of ED treatment. That's GetRoman.com/101. What do millions of Americans, including former U.S. presidents, have in common? They all agree that oil brown sheets are the softest and most comfortable sheets in the world. And this seems spontaneous. Started Boring Branch to make the softest pair of green cotton sheets around. Boring Branch cotton is very fat. Justice Outfit and carries the highest organic certification. That's what makes it so. They work with 4 million miners all over the world to expertly weave every set of Boring Branch sheets for the highest level of handwork and craftsmanship. It's quality before and none of your brands. And because they ship direct to you, Boring Branch sheets start at just $160. They're $1,000 quality for a fraction of the price. Plus, you can ship them for a month risk-free. And right now, you'll get $50 off any sheet set at BoringBranch.com with promo code 100. Spell BORL at branch.com, promo code 100 for $50 off. BoringBranch.com, promo code 100. Descriptions may apply. See BoringBranch.com for details.
It's the same thing I have your eyes are Yes, not the same anyway.
Call 949-60 STEM to request your phone favor. 949-60 STEM. 949-60 STEM.
Do you have constipation that very pains, raining, and bleeding that keeps coming back? Take the 5-question gut check to see if it could be more than a casual constipation. It could be irritable bowel syndrome constipation or IBS-C. Mezes, or linaclotide, is a prescription medication that treats IBS-C in adults. Mezes is not a laxative. It works differently. Mezes actually body care and lets you have frequent and complete bowel movements.
Individual results may vary. Do not give the children less than 6, and it's not given the children 6 to less than 18. If no harm, do not take Mezes if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop an unusual or severe stomach pain, especially if blood or dry fluids. And this pain side effect is not rare. Symptoms severe. If it's severe, stop taking Mezes and go to a doctor right away. Pain side effects include gas, stomach pain, and swelling.
Talk to your doctor about what Mezes is right for you. Go to Mezes.com. Take the 5-question gut check. That's all on ZESS.com. Or call 1-800
expensive. Now, you survive sexual abuse and Boy Scouts, you may be entitled to compensation, no matter how long the abuse lasted. The real time to find a claim is now. Call 800-792-2221. That's 800-792-2221 for more information. As a result of thousands of victims filing sexual abuse claims, the Boy Scouts are filing for bankruptcy protection, and the bankruptcy court has set November 16, 2012 as the deadline for abuse survivors to file a claim. If you're a survivor of sexual abuse while in Boy Scouts, you may be entitled to compensation, no matter how long ago the abuse happened. Call for more information with one of our compassionate counselors today. Your call is completely anonymous. Remember, the bankruptcy court has set November 16, 2020 as the deadline for abuse survivors to file a claim. Call 800-792-2221. That's 800-792-2221 today. Sponsored by Annapolis Bank. This is so cool. Talking to other gift wrappers, and all of them saying, "You know, too, it's a great idea." So for the last 60 years, yeah, I can put you on me. I'm John Dick. Everybody is John Dick. Here we go. Smooth ass foot. And that was like, oh, this one is a really everything's a tourist to take away from it. And I was like, oh, that's what I'm going to make it. Yeah, I can change it. Yeah, well, how are you doing? But, you got to kind of get your ass on the road, get your whole strategy.
Alexa, turn it up to 4.
I don't know what about this, but I voice radio stations globally. It's the only way to make any damn money in this industry.
That is so fucking great. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's getting tougher out there for all of us.
It's tougher. It does not exist. What are you talking about?
Absolutely.
One DJ in LA switched to the radio station and it caused the revenue for a whole company to fire a bunch of people to drop.
Absolutely. You know, I was working at one station. It was so corporate. In fact, there wasn't one live disc jockey working there. And I'm going to tell you something that's going to hurt the industry in the end.
Please tell, yes, please.
Absolutely. I didn't know. Are you doing Phrase That Pays at all?
No.
Oh, really?
I don't know what the hell they're doing.
No Phrase That Pays. What about Two for Tuesday? Yeah, what do you got going on over there?
Just regurgitating bullshit that I read on the internet all the time.
Regurgitation bullshit, brother. You are my broadcasting brother, and I got to tell you, you're on to something.
Am I your bro?
Don Amici is my bro.
So good at you from Los Angeles. Don Amici's your bro. I was just serious.
I got to tell you something. For a while, about 1975, I was Don Amici on the air myself.